everyone, I am your caking and baking friend Aditi Garware and welcome to my channel Sweet Boutique by Aditi. You must be wondering, why am I sitting today? So I will tell you all to grab a chair, get in your fondant and your tools and let's make a fondant rose together. So let's begin. I will run you through the basic tools that are required. So we will require these rose cutters. So these are the basic ones and all the tools we are using today are available at a bakery store near you. Also we'll be needing a small rolling pin. You can use any rolling pin available at home. We need some cornflour. Then I'll be using a foam pad. You can use any kind of sponge pad available at home. Then some basic fondant tools. So we'll be needing just a few. So don't worry and don't get scared seeing all these new things. I'm going to make the process very easy for all of you. And then we need some fondant. I'm going to use a dummy just for support. This is completely optional. If you don't have a cake dummy, that's okay. A few paint brushes. Some powder colors and the color fondant, whichever color you like. I'm using a red one today and the green for the leaves. And most importantly, I'm going to use a rose bud. So this is made out of styrofoam. It is available at any of the bakery stores. So just in case if you don't have a rose bud, you can use a food safe fire and you can create this rose bud out of fondant. You can let it dry overnight and then you can use it the next day. So let's begin. I have the rose cutters over here, one in small size and one in big size. Also I have a calyx cutter and I have some leaf cutters. So let's begin with a blob of red fondant. Just knead it well to make it soft and pliable. I'm going to use some cornflour for dusting. Let's roll this out. If it gets sticky, you can use a bit of cornflour. So let's roll this thin because we want the petals to look delicate. I'll take the cutter and let's cut this. Give it a good nudge so the cut is clean. So we have our first 5 petals with us. Now I'm going to use a sponge pad and I'm just going to thin the edges of the petals so that they look natural and delicate. So yeah, I'll take a ball tool. This is called as a ball tool. It looks like a ball, right? So this is called the ball tool and just run it over the edges to make it nice and delicate. So they look softer. It gives a natural effect. This way, just run it over. You can immediately see the difference, right? So thinning the edges. Now I am going to assemble this on my rose bud. So I have some edible glue with me. Taking a paint brush, just put the glue over here. And now hold the bud straight. Take the petals on your fingers and I'm going to pass the floral wire through the center of the petals. And now we are going to wrap them. I'm going to stretch this as fondant is very pliable and then we can tuck every petal inside. So let's tuck the petals and you can use a bit of glue to stick these. So let's tuck these, stretch. So just intertwine them to get a beautiful rose bud. So we have a beautiful rose bud, and this way we need to make several petals so that we can make amazing layers of the rose. So let's make them. So I have some petals ready over here. I'm thinning out the edges with the help of a ball tool. You can repeat the same process for the bigger ones as well. So there isn't any particular number of petals that you have to put. You can just eyeball it and just trust your guts. So just look at it and then you will be able to understand whether the rose is complete or not. Sometimes the rose can be smaller, sometimes it can be bigger. Currently I have prepped up a few smaller ones and a few bigger ones. Let's see how it goes. Now let's apply the petals. I'm going to apply some glue on the petals itself now. And let's go. The same drill, taking it here and intertwining it this way. So you can use a bit of glue where you feel the petals are not sticking. The initial layers, you can tuck them inside so it looks like a bud. And with your hand, you can give some movement to the petals. Now I have this ready. I'll put the other layer. The next layer, I'll keep it a little open. Be very careful and be very gentle while handling this. So we have a few layers over here and the rose should look like a mystery. All the petals should look intertwined. When a viewer looks at it, they should wonder कि कौन सी petal कहाँ से आई है. So that's the beauty of the rose. And with the fingers, you can also give the petals a little movement like this. Now I'm going to use a bigger layer. And let's apply the petals. At home, I would suggest that you can wait for the inner layers to dry and then you can go and apply the next layers because the fondant is super soft. So that's why you can first dry out the first layers and then go in for the other ones. So you can already see that the flower is coming to life. The bigger petals are opening up. So let's put in the last layer. So let's put the last layer. Be very careful while handling these petals. You can invert it if you feel it's a little difficult for you. So I'll be drying this flower over 2 to 3 hours now. And don't put it in the refrigerator because you don't want the moisture to spoil your flower. You can just dry it at room temperature. Just keep it on your workstation, that should be fine. And post that, we'll be doing the leaves. Also, if you want to dry it inverted so that the petals don't fall off, you can do it that way. So while the flower is drying, we can make some leaves. I have some green fondant over here. Taking in a little. The same way you can roll out the fondant for the leaves as well, the way we did for the flower. Just make sure you keep it a little thick because we want to insert these floral wires into the leaves. So keeping it a little thick, you can see the thickness. I have these cutters. So cutting this. And now I can just apply a bit of edible glue onto my wire. And I can insert it into my leaf. This looks amazing. Now, with the help of a Dresden tool, this is called as a Dresden tool. It has got pointy ends. You can just kind of make a marking for the veins. This looks good. If you want to soften the edges, you can, but that's totally optional. I'll prefer keeping it this way. Also, I'm going to cut a calyx out of it. The rose has a calyx, right? So green calyx. So the calyx looks like this. So let's cut the calyx. This looks amazing. Again, you can soften the edges. All of this is optional though, because the shape itself is so beautiful, you can use it the same way. So we have everything prepped up. Let's get in our dried rose and let's assemble it. Ta-da! We have this beautiful rose ready with us. So just give it the right drying time. According to your weather, the drying time will vary. And yeah, you have this amazing rose ready. So now what we are going to do is we are going to attach the leaves and the calyx as well. And then we are going to dust it with some dust color so it looks natural. So let's apply some glue on the calyx. The same way, tuck this in. You can invert it. So the green instantly gets in the pop and it looks so beautiful. So now let's use a green floral tape to make the stem. So stretch the tape. It releases a bit of glue and then you can just tape the white wire so you get a beautiful green stem. And now we'll be taping the leaves as well. This looks so amazing. Now let's add the leaves. Let's tape it. So we have the leaf in. Now let's go for the second one. I'll be just bending the leaf a little to adjust it with the stem. And the same way, tape the second leaf. This way you can add on the leaves of your choice. Now we'll dust the flower. I have some green petal dust over here and some red. So with the help of the red petal dust, just add on a bit of color. Wherever you have cornflower seen, you can just dust it. So it looks fresh. Center portion, you can make it brighter. So this way you can dust the petals. Now for the leaf, you can use the green brush and some green color and you can dust it. So this amazing easy fondant rose is ready and I'm so excited to decorate my cake with this. You can use it on your anniversary cakes, wedding cakes and so many other designs. And do let me know how did you like this technique. Also share your creations on Instagram. I would love to share with other followers as well. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next week. Bye.